You are watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for Focus on Germantown. I'm Mayor Mike Palazzolo. I consider it an honor each month to host this show, offering information and conversation about our city government. As we welcome the fall season, Germantown residents are setting pumpkins on the porch, which means the long-standing tradition of trick-or-treating isn't far behind. Joining us from the Germantown Police Department is Captain of Police Services, Angie Blankenship. Captain Blankenship will share Halloween safety tips from the department. In our What's New segment, Germantown Grants Manager Alexa Robinson will tell us about the grant the city received from the National Endowment of the Arts and the exciting activities the city has planned throughout the months of October and November. And finally, over the past few months, many of you have expressed frustration over trash and recycling pickup. Trust me, I share that frustration. Germantown Neighborhood Services Manager Joe Nunes is here to talk trash. Joe has some information to help shed some light on what trucks are used by our current vendor and the things we residents can do to help the pickup process go more smoothly. We know one of the things that you value most as a Germantown resident is our superior public safety. Joining us from our esteemed Germantown Police Department to share some Halloween safety tips with us is Captain Angie Blankenship. Angie, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Halloween this year falls on Saturday, the 31st, obviously. That should be a big night for our parents and especially our children. You have some tips for us.
I do. It falling on a Saturday night, of course, we expect a larger group of people out trick-or-treating. We're going to have extra officers out there patrolling the streets and watching out for the kids out trick-or-treating and the parents. We do have some safety tips that we would like to pass on to people. Young children should always go trick-or-treating with an adult. Never trick-or-treat alone, and always have at least two people with you if you're an older child that's going to go out and trick-or-treat. Plan your entire route and make sure that your parents know where you're going and what your route is going to be. Make sure your costumes are flame retardant if they are full body costumes. Parents should check candy before it's eaten, always, and never go inside a house if someone invites you in. Don't play near lit jack-o'-lanterns because they may be lit with a candle. Visit only houses where the lights are on, and walk on sidewalks and driveways, not in the street. Cross the street at the corner or at a crosswalk. Carry a flashlight and wear costumes, preferably with reflective markings in bright colors or either on your bags.
Oh, these are excellent tips for our children and for our parents. You know, some of our homeowners, they're not home when trick-or-treaters come. They might, if they're an empty nester, they might go out to dinner or something. Do you have tips for people that are not at home when children come?
I do. Turn off your porch light and leave your house so that it's obvious that nobody's home. Keep your door closed, turn out your lights, and everybody knows that means don't ring that doorbell, there's nobody there.
A good tip, you know, our city with 40,000 residents and a large number of children, we're going to have a lot out on the streets, so to speak, for Halloween on the 31st this year. I know our police department will be out there protecting them and looking after our children. You know, we have a lot of shoppers that come to Germantown, especially during the holiday season. I know you have some different things that, and also in essence, we also have a lot of people that go on vacation. Matter of fact, I just went on vacation last week and our police department came out to do a vacation check. Please tell our viewers a little bit about what the police department provides for us.
Well, we call it a vacation check, and you can go online now. Everything is online, and you can go to our city website, www.germantown-tn.gov. go to City Services and to a drop-down menu, Police Department, then to Safety Tips and Vacation Home Check. And you can fill out a form and send it in right from there. And what happens from there is we get that form, we send it to patrol, and an officer comes by your house a minimum of twice a day and checks all your doors and windows and any specific information that you have on that form. We make sure that everything is as you left it. If it's not, we have a number that you leave on that form that we can contact you, or a contact person, a neighbor, a relative, a friend, or someone. The only thing that doesn't apply to is if you're gone less than 4 days or longer than 1 month. And you can always renew. If you're gone longer than 1 month, you can always get online and renew it again. And we will continue to come out until you cancel it or the date of cancellation comes about, whatever day that is.
Angie, just kind of a follow-up to that, not necessarily with hard numbers, but do our residents take up our police department on this service? Do we have a good amount of people that participate in vacation checks?
Oh, absolutely, particularly during the holidays when they go out of town to visit relatives, and during the summer. We have a large amount of people that take advantage of that service.
Well, I know when I travel and share with people, we have that as a free amenity in our city. They're amazed at times. So
yes.
Great service by our police department. As I was mentioned earlier, we do have the shopping season coming up with Thanksgiving and the holidays not too far down the road. We do have a lot of shopping in Germantown, and I think you brought something today that helps with our visitors to our shopping centers and our residents when they prepare to go to Saddle Creek and the different shopping centers.
Yeah, one of the things that we do as a police department is starting the day after Thanksgiving, which is the big shopping day, kickoff for the season, is we put extra officers both on foot and on bikes and in patrol cars out in our shopping areas to keep people safe. But we also encourage particularly women and some men to use these. They're actually business card holders, but they fold in half and there's 2 pockets inside, and we ask that leave your purse at home and put in just your ID and the credit cards that you're going to use, and keep it in your front pocket and take it out when you're going to pay for anything. And you can pick these up at the police department any day of the week, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and we give them out for free. So we encourage particularly women to use these. Also, if you're out shopping, it's always a good idea to have someone that you're with. Don't shop alone. And at night, make sure you park in a well-lit area. Be aware of your surroundings and watch for things. Don't walk out distracted or with a lot of packages in your hands. Those kinds of things for just safety purposes.
Well, these are great pointers for our residents and our visitors that shop. You know, our city has been long known for public safety. We either usually number 1 or 2 in the state when it comes to crime statistics. With just a few moments left in this episode, this segment, please share with our viewers a little bit about how to protect yourself when shopping. You know, we see so many times people leave their bags in their front seats. Can you give some tips on where you store things and how you protect yourself moving from car to shopping center?
Right, always don't leave anything out in the open where anybody can look inside your car and see a valuable like a purse or a wallet or change in the console or keys or anything that might entice someone who is there looking for something to steal or a car to get into. Just don't leave it out where it's readily visible.
Oh, this is great information. Thank you. This has been very, very informative. Thank you for this great information, Angie. And just a reminder, folks, when you turn your clocks back, it is also time to check the batteries in your smoke detector. When we return, we'll talk about a grant the city received from the National Endowment of the Arts. Back after this. Hello, I'm Germantown Mayor Mike Palazzolo. I want to let you know about something special you'll be seeing in your Germantown water bill this month. In cooperation with the Germantown Education Foundation, the City of Germantown is asking residents to fill the fountain of knowledge. Donations to the Germantown Education Foundation directly support academic programs in the Germantown Municipal School District. To donate, please fill out the form, return it with your water bill. You can make a one-time donation or monthly contribution. For more information, visit www.germantown.gov. www.germantowneducationfoundation.org, and thank you for supporting Germantown.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
You are watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
Welcome back. Joining us now is Alexa Robinson, Grant Manager for the City of Germantown. Alexa researches, prepares, and submits for all departments to identify grant opportunities for the city. Welcome, Alexa. Tell us about the Big Read, but before that, this is probably the dream question for any grant writer. Tell us what a grant writer's day, week, or month is like.
I'll be happy to. It's actually more than grant writing. There's a whole process that goes along with it. One of the things you have to do is understand who you're working with and the different. So I have gotten to know the departments and the different programs that the city offers, and then I conduct research to see if there's a match between a particular program and between what the guidelines are for the funder. And grants can come from the government, federal and state. Grants can come from private foundations as well as businesses and corporations. So once it looks like there's a grant that's a possible match, I'll meet again with the particular department, and we work together to be sure to answer all the questions, and then I prepare the application and submit the application.
Well, that's fascinating. I know you did a lot of work at GPAC, and now you do grant writing for all the departments. So you're
That's
right, you
right.
learn a lot from each and every one of our departments.
I
in the
did,
city.
very much so. Yes, I really sort of honed my craft when I was at GPAC.
Well, we were talking about the Big Read earlier. It is very, very exciting. I know that we kick it off this weekend at our library.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about the Big Read.
I'll be happy to. In 2004, the National Endowment for the Arts released a study that showed that levels of reading had declined in our overall population, and particularly among young people. And so they decided to offer a grant program called the Big Read. And there are about 75 communities across the nation that receive this grant each year. We were thrilled to be one of the 75. There's a lot of prestige that comes with that. And so what you do is you select a book from the Big Read Library. There are 37 titles. There are novels, there are poems, there are collections of short stories. And once you select one of those books, then you design programs to get the whole community on board reading the book and participating in the various activities.
It's so neat, and the title of this book is?
It's called A Wizard of Earth Sea by Ursula K. Le Guin. And I will tell you how we came up with this book. We gathered our community partners. It's the city, the Germantown Community Library, the Germantown Municipal School District, Germantown Performing Arts Center, and Germantown Community Theater. It's really exciting because our city already has a lot of things in place that work for this type of grant. The book was actually suggested by an English teacher at Houston High School. And so once we all started thinking about it and talking about the book, there were just a lot of creative ways we could use the book in different programs. It's a book about a young boy named Ged who discovers he's a wizard. And so he goes off to wizarding school, and it's about his adventures. It's about light and shadow. It's about wizards and dragons, and it's a great book. And in some ways, it's considered a distant ancestor to Harry Potter. Because I know when you hear about wizards and wizarding schools, so often your mind just goes to
I haven't
Harry
read
Potter.
it yet, so don't
okay,
ruin it
I
for
won't
me
give it
yet.
away.
I'm looking forward to it. You know, we're a community that really values education and reading. We are part of the Books to Birth program.
Right.
You got all this feedback from our students at Houston High.
Sure.
And each year our library has a great summer reading program. So this just really aligns well with what we're trying to accomplish.
Very much so.
Well, and tell us a little bit, you have some people that have, and some organizations that have stepped forward to help sponsor this?
Yes, we have been fortunate. In addition to the grant we received from the National Endowment for the Arts, we have received a generous donation from the Friends of the Library. It's a wonderful group who does a lot to support the work that goes on at the library, including a bookstore. We also received a donation from an organization I'm involved with as well, the Kappa Kappa Gamma Memphis Alumni Association. And each year they have a luncheon called Literacy is Key. And they use this money that they make from this philanthropic event to promote literacy here in the greater Memphis area. And then we also received money from the city of Germantown itself, and then also from POP Solutions. In fact, they donated these wonderful buttons that I'm wearing.
Well, now there are events coming up. Are you going to share what some of those events
I'd love
are?
to.
Yeah.
The kickoff event is October the 3rd, and we're calling it a fantasy fair. And you'll be there. We'll have an official kickoff by our wizard and our town crier. And we are going to have face painting and a balloonist making balloon sculptures. We're going to have strolling musicians, a juggler. We're going to have a fire performer. And of course, the Germantown Fire Department will be there as well. We're going to have a mule-drawn wagon that will take participants on a short drive around the parking lot there. And so it's just going to be an exciting event. The Friends of the Library will be having a book sale as well, and we will be giving away copies of the book, as well as you can check them out at the library. So be sure and catch the wizard or the town crier if you come, because they might give you a copy of the book.
Wow, this is very, very exciting. Switch gears just a little
Sure.
bit. We have about a minute
Okay,
left.
okay.
We recently, as a city, won a grant called Safe Routes to School.
We did.
Just in a short amount of time, we'll have you back on another episode.
Okay.
But share a little bit about what that is.
That was another collaborative project between the city and the municipal school district, and it is a grant offered by the Tennessee Department of Transportation. And so it covers two things. It covers infrastructure improvements, sidewalks, roads, and a variety of things, as well as the education that would go along with these improvements. So the overall idea is to get kids to and from school safely, so that they can walk and they can bike on safe pathways, and then have the education so that they'll know how to traverse these new sidewalks.
Well, that's great, because we want to be a more pedestrian-friendly, walking city, and I think Riverdale has been a school that has been identified for this early on.
Yes,
so.
it is, definitely.
Well, great. Thank you so much. We have to take another short break. When we return, we'll talk trash with Joe Nunes. Please stay with us.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
You are watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
Welcome back. We have heard from many residents who are experiencing frustration with their trash pickup. Joe Nunes from Neighborhood Services is joining us to explain the way our current vendor, Inland Waste, picks up the trash. Joe, thanks for being here today.
Mayor, thank you. We're glad to be here.
Well, Joe, we've had a succession of contractors over the last few years that have provided our sanitation services for the city of Germantown. Please help our viewers understand a little bit about how Inland does it differently compared to those other contractors.
Will do, Mayor. As you know, one of the things that is the hallmark of Germantown is providing a high level of service. And while Inland experienced a few hiccups where its service is greatly improved in the past couple of months, one of the things that is an example of that service is backdoor collection. And so Germantown does provide backdoor collection, and the way Inland, our current contractor, provides that service is with a variety of trucks and equipment. In fact, it's up to 5 pieces of equipment that could come down and stop at every household in Germantown. So first is the automated truck that picks up curbside trash. That 77% of our customers take advantage of that service. The key thing, an automated truck is a truck with one driver and an arm that picks up that cart and empties that cart. As far as the thing for the residents to know, it's important for them to note that that truck is only stopping to pick up that cart. There's a second truck for household trash, a rear loader that will get our backdoor customers. In addition, it will stop and pick up any excess trash that our curbside customers have outside of their cart. So it's important for our residents to note that there could be 2 different trucks coming down the street to pick up trash, and they could come at 2 different times. So then we have our third truck, is our yard waste truck, and that is there to pick up the material, vegetative material only, leaves, grass, shrubs, etc., in clear bags or in containers. There is a possibility of a 4th truck, the claw truck, that would pick up larger piles and claw piles of resident cut tree debris. And finally, our 5th truck is the recycle truck that again has that small 35-gallon container that picks up the recyclables. One of the key things there is that residents, for that recycling material to be collected, is it's got to be inside the cart. Anything outside of the cart is not going to be collected as recycling.
Well, I tell you, Joe, obviously this can be confusing at times. So a truck could come down the street and pass a resident's home, and they may have the thought that, why didn't they stop there? But it may be a truck not for the side yard, backyard pickup. So it does add some confusion at times.
Correct, and that is something that we've been trying to get the word out and communicate to our residents, because we do receive calls that on that same day that say the truck's been down the street and they've missed us, when in fact it could be the curbside truck and there is still a backdoor truck that's going to come later, or that backdoor truck is also responsible for picking up the excess trash, bulky items such as furniture or something like that, that truck also picks up that material.
Joe, what is the quick difference between, some of our residents are going to be a little confused with an automated truck versus maybe what they used to see in the old days. What's the difference that they're seeing now?
Well, as mentioned earlier, Mayor, the automated truck is a truck with one driver. That's the only, and that's where the efficiency comes in for the collection process. So that has just the one driver, uses the automated arm that comes out and picks up that cart, empties the cart overhead. The key issue as we've made this switch, and this is a switch that's happening across the country that using automated trucks. As we make that switch, cart placement becomes more critical because, as you can imagine, that arm needs some room to grab that cart and pick that cart up. So there's 2 things that are critical for the cart placement. Is first, the handle of that cart should be facing the house. We've come up with a simple catchphrase, H2H, handle to house, that helps our residents remember to put that handle towards the house. That helps in reducing damage to the carts, especially lids, because they'd be opening the wrong way. Second key item is cart placement, is that not to place it near mailboxes, light poles, fire hydrants, any obstacle. The arm has to have at least 3 feet of space to grab that cart. So that means, in addition to those obstacles, don't put your carts next to each other as well. While it looks great to have those three, 2 or 3 carts lined up neatly on the street, space them out. Put the trash cart, the recycle cart, and the yard cart at least 3 feet apart.
Well, Joe, this is very informative, and I do that with my green, my recycle, and my blue. I keep them separated. I guess maybe I'm a little bit of an insider when it comes to trash, but in the H2H program, at least you're telling people how to place their carts. What else are we doing to try to get the word out? Because at the end of the day, people want their trash picked up, but we need to help the contractor and the resident understand the process. What are we doing as a city?
Well, I think there's several things that we're doing to help communicate the collection process. As we look at, there's going to be a flyer going out to residents that will talk about recycling, but it will also mention the cart placement and proper placement. We're in the process of working with Houston High School to produce some short videos showing exactly how that cart should be placed. And in addition, the contents that go in the recycling cart. This is a great opportunity to mention that we collect a lot more material than we have in the past, and we're encouraging people to put that material in the cart and increase our recycling volume.
Joe, we have about a minute left in this segment. You and your staff, your team, have done a great job of working with our residents, trying to understand some of the service dilemmas that we've had. Please share with our residents your phone number, your contact phone number, and I'm sure that you welcome phone calls on either missed pickup or with people just wanting to know, how do I place my cart? Would you like to share that information with?
Absolutely. And let me also say that, as I mentioned earlier, service has improved. The number of missed service requests is down significantly from a few months ago. But however, if one of our residents does experience a missed service request, it's important to note that the contractor does have until 7 p.m. that day to collect trash. So we ask to wait till the next business day, give us a call, 757-7263, or email us at neighborhoodservices@germantowntn.gov.
Thank you for that information, Joe. It's been very, very informative. Thank you for taking the time to focus on Germantown. We welcome your comments and ideas for what you'd like to hear about on this show. Feel free to contact us at www.gmtvonline.org. You can also watch more of our original programming. From all of us here at Germantown Municipal Television and from City Hall, we invite you to join us when Focus on Germantown returns next month.